Hey, I'm going to start doing a little series where I give my thoughts on each duelist, tank, and strategist. I'm gonna start right at the top with duelist. And I'm gonna do 3 characters per video, but just what I think is wrong with them and how to fix them. Also, we are in 16:9 now. I figured it out. It took me a while, but I figured it out. So Daredevils first. He just doesn't have a lot of... He has so many actions per minute, but they feel so not necessary, right? Because there is no real difference whether you use his slam or use his throw. His throw is almost always the better option because you hit more people. You're guaranteed more hits, is how I should put it, and which means more bonus health. He lives forever, right? I don't think his slam and his baton throw is a meaningful choice to make mid-combat. If you're going to have that many actions per minute, you have to be meaningful in what your choices is. Like Rogue. Like I'm learning Rogue, right? And I don't just walk in and button mash and get full value. I have to think, what dashes do I have left? What can I use? What should I use? Because do I engage with the E for the instant CC in the air, or do I engage more passively because I know they're going to try and get away, and then engage more passively with the shift because I know they're going to try and get away, and then we'll pull them back, and then I can use other stuff to secure the kill, right? I think those are important decisions to make on a character like that, and Daredevil's decisions just don't seem to be as important. When I have played Daredevil in quick play, I just kind of walk in and button mash, and I know I'm not on the same level as the people I play against, but it feels like the floor isn't as high because of how much bonus health he generates. Combos aren't really the most important. Passive speed boost, just playing on someone that your team is going to focus or that you want your team to focus. You don't even have to fight them to get the speed boost. It gives you an extra dash. Like, it's just a little weird. I think they need to either choose to make him an unkillable monster or a super fast assassin, because those are the only 2 dive things that you can have. And if he's an unkillable monster, he shouldn't be doing a lot of damage. If he's in a super fast assassin, he shouldn't be an unkillable monster. Right now, he kind of does both. The damage reduction on his E throw that he does, it, like in that most recent nerf to him, it does a lot more than I thought it would, but it's just not what it needs to be. And I vote to either make his block more like Rogue's, where it's not all damage, it's just damage reduction, and you're still CC immune. Maybe it still reflects things, because right now, I genuinely think he has the best block in the game. A full damage reduction, reflects all projectiles, full CC immune. I guess the only better block ability in the game that there is would be Iron Fist, because it also gives him bonus health, but it doesn't reflect the projectiles. But genuinely, for him to have such a, he has really good damage, he has really good bonus health generation, where you don't even have to think about it to get it, like how Bucky's is, which we're going to talk about him. And then his block is just overpowered, is what I mean to say. For Bucky, I would fix the hook's travel hitbox. Right now, it can go through walls. If you position yourself, like you can just peek and the hook travels through the wall. It shouldn't do that. Sometimes it latches on to people that it very clearly missed. Like, not when I'm watching replay viewer or the replay of the clip. I'm watching like someone's VOD or something. I'm like, wait, that just missed. But I think that has to do with things I'm not knowledgeable on, for being so for real. Because I don't have any fucking clue how servers works, and like I've seen my misses on Luna Snowball and Penny Web that it just snaps to them and hits. I think it has to do with server stuff. Probably I'm not knowledgeable enough, but definitely shouldn't be able to go through walls or clip through the corners of walls. I think it should be only able to hook one person, because the amount of times that me and a friend have been playing and like he's on DPS, and so he's playing a brawl DPS and he's right behind me, or I play Thing and I see the Bucky charging his hook aiming at my Strange. I jump in front of my Strange to prevent it from working, like right to body block, because he's not looking at the moment, he's not looking at the Bucky, and it hits me and still pulls the strange. No, you should only choose one or the other, which means you have to actually aim and use it in a much more strategic way when you know you're going to get the person you want. Because of how easily that combos into his dash and his 8 other CCs, I think it should only pull one person, and that means he has to be more strategic with it. And that's also a buff for Bucky, because it means there's less of a chance you pull 2 people and get obliterated by 2 DPS. But then your team would still finish those 2 DPS pretty fast, so like, whatever. Lower the size of the primary bullet, even if you increase the speed to counteract, so it's still roughly the same amount of accuracy to hit, because it is massive. For the amount of damage it does, it is massive and super, super easy to hit, and I think that is just insane. My final thing for Bucky is remove either the AoE damage, his shield on every ability, reload on every ability, or the damage of his or lower the damage of his primary. Not all of them, because right now he kind of does everything. He has great single target damage. He has great AoE damage as long as, like, when you're clumped up together. He has shields on every single ability, which also reloads him, which means you can use a bunch of your abilities to secure kills, to keep fire and keep up your fire rate. And I said everything on my list. And that's pretty stupid, that he can just do everything that well all the time. And I just think you gotta remove one thing, make him, because if you're gonna be strong in this aspect, you should be weak in this aspect. I just answered a comment on that about how, like, oh, strategists made themselves invincible with their demands, and now we're reaping the benefit. Now we're reaping the punishment of it, and I don't think that's entirely correct. And finally, Hela. I would rework Hela's stun. I would increase its grab range and remove the actual stun part, so it more focuses like a Squirrel Girl CC, where you can completely move and everything, you just can't do anything. I think if you don't use any movement abilities, it should hold you in the center longer. Not too much longer, because it shouldn't guarantee a 2-tap. But right now, how it works is it just hits you, pretty much stuns. It doesn't even move you. I barely feel it when it moves me. I feel the stun more than anything. And I think that's bad. I think it should have a much larger radius. It should work like a gravity bomb, where it grabs a bunch of people, puts them in. So that way you can grab a bunch of people, put them in, and combo with ults, or try to use it to get people away from you. But it would take a lot of skill to throw it away from them and have the AoE only clip one person to section them off, to bam bam headshot them twice. Because I don't feel the gravity effect. Like, the effect is supposed to be it pulls them in. It's why she has that Venom team up, where not only does it pull them in, it tethers them there, and now they get slowed down for a bit. But I don't feel that. Even with the Venom team up, that's never felt. You just use it as a stun. And I think that for a poke character whose thing is picking off isolated targets, your way to get them isolated doesn't make them isolated at all. It needs to be fixed. That needs something that needs to be fixed. And I think that would be an overall buff for Hela. And the trade-off is you probably have to increase the cooldown, so that way it's not just a get-out-of-jail-free card that you can save for whenever you need to. The second thing I do for Hela is return her ability to how it was at launch, pretty much. It's slower, because they increase the speed of the bird and the cast time that it takes to do it. No bonus health when you use it, but you lower its cooldown from where it is now, which means you can use it for escape and use it to take off angles more actively. But in return, if you get dove, it's not a get out of jail free card. I'm out, and I recovered some of my health. Right? I think giving her both all at the same time is bad, because her thing was, oh, she sits on off angles, she picks off targets, her strength is from playing on off angles. But if she gets dove, she has her stun and her AO and her bird, which both act as AO as get out of jail free cards without a lot of skill. Her stun is AoE, her bird is super fast and gives her bonus health at the end. So yeah, that's how I'd fix these 3 characters. They're all duelists today. Let me know what you think, and how you do, because I've got notes for a bunch of other characters that I've typed up in the heat of the moment, but let me know what you think. Maybe I'll change my list. Maybe I'll make more of these. Yeah. See you later. Wet Willy.